Alright, this is a mini update for my drain filter project, and also be applicable to my emergency drain sack thing too. Here's one I've been using. It's a shorter one of the two brands I found. These are mesh curly Kate like things. These are the better ones. They're a little bigger than these ones. Both from dollar stores, different dollar stores. But you see, these ones are a little bigger, a little bit finer mesh stuff too. These worked really well. And what you can do, previously I was using apple bags, but I don't have enough of them, and they're usually too short. Like this one's kind of short. They overstuff them, they try to conserve their stuff, and you have to cut off a little to open it. So it's just, this is one I haven't used because it's just not long enough. This was a nice long one, but that's kind of rare to find. And really the mesh in these is just not really wide enough. I mean, not really narrow enough, it's too wide. So what happens is all the lint deposits at the end of the thing, which is less than optimal. Whereas with the finer mesh stuff, you see the lint is deposited all the way down, even from the beginning all the way down to the end. So this is doing the job I want it to do. I want the sack to get as much of the lint as possible so that the screens in the box don't plug up so fast. And I've been very successful with this one. Worked really well. Even with a load of towels going through it and everything, it still wasn't totally plugged, much to my amazement. Because it already had a few loads on it, and then I did a load of towels, and I did just change it, but it probably could have gone longer. The screens were a little bit plugged. Anyway, you take one of these. What color would be? I don't know if any color is easy to see or not, but you look at the center of them, and they're kind of knitted together. So I'm going to find how it's knitted together and nip it and unfurl it. Unfortunately, I can't do it with one hand, so I will be back shortly. Oh, I think this one might be easier because I think I found where they tied it together. And then it just unfurls. Go back to two hands again here. Okay, so now totally unfurled. I've got a nice long one with this brand. Whereas with this brand I had a shorter result. This one gave me a nice real long with a narrower mesh, so I've got great hopes for these. And this time, last one I unfurled that's in this tube now, I must have gotten this end, so I ended up with an open end in both ends. This one I actually managed to find that little strip and led me to the right one, the right side to snip. And this end is still tied as a result, which is kind of good. But I got so much length here. What I did with the other one, where I did clip the wrong end and ended up with a tube, open at both ends, I just tucked the other end inside. I just folded it inside itself. And then when it's inside the tube, shoved inside the tube, it'll just hold it together anyway, so I don't even bother knotting it or anything. So it's just cupping inside of itself at the very end to give me an end block. But I've got good hopes of these. You can see it's a much finer mesh than this stuff was. Apple bag stuff was. So far this has worked really well, and with these longer ones I think they'll even work better. So that's my latest suggestion. I'm probably going to replace this sack with one of these too. Maybe I'll use this green one for my emergency unit. And again, I use this unit only when the solar unit's overfilled in the middle of a load and I want to change it without going through the trouble of cleaning it out, so I can keep on doing my laundry. And of course it doesn't filter as well as the whole process with the two screens in the box and the sack ahead of it. With the long sack, you can see it's long enough to do that whole length of that tube, which is what I just did with a different one of these. I just re-cleaned this thing. Well, that's my mini update. Comments welcome. People have alternate suggestions or found other ways to build a structure like this. This certainly isn't totally perfect. It's just what I came up with. It'd be nice to have a bigger box, but still not so big that it wouldn't fit in there. But you got to be able to plumb it and have it, everything fits together securely, so that's why I used what I used.